everyone. I just wanted to say hi and welcome to my first makeup tutorial in my small and stuffy bathroom. So here I'm going to show you my setup. Not much of a setup. I really have just a tiny sink and my brushes are on top of a box where I'm going to be placing my tripod as well, and my palette's inside the sink, outside the sink. So that's my setup. Anyways, so I'm looking into my new tablet here, and yeah, I was trying to see if I could start an Instagram live, but in the end, not a lot of people were signing in, and maybe it was, because it was Monday at 1 p.m. and a lot of people work, so I realized that a little too late. But anyways, I tried to give everyone a live action feed of what I was doing, and to be fair, editing this video kind of made me realize how long that video was gonna be, so yeah. Anyways, so regardless, I used my tablet later on for music and for just videos. I just like being distracted in the background because it helps me be more patient and take more time on the details. So now we're starting with the priming. So I'm gonna prime my face with the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. Yep, it's almost gone. Need to get some more. This stuff is great. So far, so good. I love how it reacts with my face, and I know back in high school I remember not wearing primer, and now compared to this, so much more different. Makeup really does change with primer, so please don't forget to put primer on. So I apply it all over my face, and sometimes I do somewhat of a thicker coat of primer just to make sure that it's all on there. And then I glue sticked my eyebrows, and I almost forgot to before I applied foundation, but I did this time. The reason why my eyebrows is turning white is because the last makeup that I glued my eyebrows down, I forgot to and applied it after I applied my concealer, which was not a great idea. Made my makeup all messy, so this time I'm very thankful that I did remember it this time. And my eyebrows are really thick and dark, so it takes a couple of coats, and I am terrible at this because I don't know what I'm doing. Most of all, this is just me learning from YouTube videos, and I still don't understand them, so I try it and just, trial and error. I'm just drying them down, trying to get them as dry as possible before I apply another coat. For my eyebrows, I applied 3 coats. Now I'm just setting down with some translucent powder. It's the I believe it's Everlasting Translucent Powder from Ciate. I think that's how you say the name. And one thing you'll notice is that all my brushes are really, really dirty because I've been doing makeup every day, and I thought I didn't have any brush cleaner. After cleaning out my bathroom the other day, I finally found the brush cleaner. So today I'll be washing my brushes. But extraordinary powder. Yeah, it's really dirty because I use it a lot too. So here I'm applying the foundation all over my face. And yes, my eyebrows look crazy, and they'll look crazier later on. Now I'm brushing off the setting powder off my eyebrows and concealing, and then I'm going to finish applying the rest of the foundation all over my face while still applying the concealer all over my eyebrows. And see, I told you, eyebrows gone. Now I look crazy. And then I add more setting powder because to me, I didn't feel like my eyebrows were covered enough, and I just wanted to make sure that those were down and as invisible as I can make them. And so I conceal my face, try to get some high points in there, I guess. I don't know. I kind of don't know what I'm doing here either. I just kind of guess. And it works for me, so I just keep doing it. And then I totally forgot to shave my mustache, so I had to kind of put a little bit of extra care on there. Keep forgetting, but today I'll remember. So now I'm setting the powder on that same concealer spots and starting with the eye. So here I'm using the Kathleen Lights Color Pop and using the first color being turquoise. I really don't know what I'm doing, so don't think I'm a professional at all. And like I mentioned earlier, my brushes are really dirty and I've been using them a lot for dark makeup. And so it came out a little darker than I thought. So then I had to go back and use the Zulu by Juvia's. And I used the color, I don't know what color it is, but it's the light blue glittery color on there. And I totally loved it. And so I'm trying to lighten the shadow because I went a little too dark than expected. I wanted to go dark, but more on the crease, which is where you'll see me add the color again back on the Kathleen Lights Color Pop palette, Onyx. So I add Onyx onto my crease, try to bring it out a little bit and keep it high because I will be using some concealer to go over my eyelid again and add a lighter color there again. And usually I try to do this makeup, but again, my brushes have been dirty, so I haven't been able to actually do it correctly. There I am trying to shine the light on my face. So I haven't been able to do it correctly, but I love the look where you see the dark eyeshadow right just clean on top of the bright glittery eyeshadow. So that's what I've been trying to practice a little bit more. Here I'm applying the concealer. I've been getting better at applying a clean line of concealer on my eyelids to make sure that it looks nice and clean as possible. And as you can see, I'm trying to keep that dark shadow that I just applied still visible right on top of the line. And then I'm going back and adding the color Aquamarine back onto the eyelid to bring a little bit of light into my eyes, because I mean Alice in Wonderland's or Alice's makeup shouldn't be as dark as I was making it. So I'm adding that on there. And yes, you see me using my Nomad palette to apply the makeup because unfortunately ColourPop doesn't have mirrors in their palette, so I have to make it some other way. And in the end, I did add the color Opal on the inner corner of my eyelids in the end. Just kind of decided that last minute because I didn't feel like it was glittery enough. And you know, I'm a burlesque performer, so I love glitter. And so here I am again adding Aquamarine onto my eyelids. Let me tell you, I am not a makeup artist, not a professional makeup artist. I'm just an amateur, but I am a professional YouTuber watcher. So I do know, I have watched years worth of YouTube, so I kind of know how these things go. So that's the best thing that I can tell you that I'm good at. And so now I'm adding it to the bottom eyelid. It's the same color, Aquamarine. And I was debating if to add like a darker shadow, but I liked how it looks, so I just kept it as is. And again, it's Alice, so I'm not trying to keep her as dark as my other makeup. And so now we are about to work on my eyebrows. And this was a part that I was really scared of because I didn't know how I was going to match the eyebrows to the wig that I got. And it worked out well. I did start applying with the Nomad palette, but honestly it was the same color as the Zulu's palette, so I just added the brown color off of that palette. And that's what I'm directing you to use if you wanted to, you know, make the same eyebrows. And then I went into Nomad's palette, black color on there to kind of deepen the eyebrow on the lower part, the lower and the end. And if you didn't know, I'm an eyebrow threader, so I kind of have an idea of how eyebrows should look. So thankfully I have that on my side. It always looks like I'm not doing anything until I actually look into the mirror and magically appears some eyebrows, some identical eyebrows. So there I show you the color on the Juvia palette. And now I'm going back into my face with the bronzer. I love bronzer, even though before I used to think I didn't need it. I just love how it like sculpts my face a little bit more. And always my nose is the biggest problem for me. I always try to get it as thin as I can get it, but it never looks thin enough for me. I'm still practicing it. Again, just an amateur here. Like, I'm only doing this because people were asking about it, and I thought about giving it a try anyways. And so now I'm going all over my face, just bronzing my baby hairs, I guess. Now I'm gonna go into with my blush, and I love blush, and for Alice I really wanted her to be very, very flushed. And usually I wouldn't use that brush for that area of my face to add like a little bit of color, but that's all I had that was not covered in just dark colors. And then I added my highlight. And I always go for like that highlighted and very soft look on the lips. I love the look of like the blurriness around the lips, so I try to do that. I don't think I went with the right color for this time, but I like them anyways. And so now we're adding my lipstick. It's a Dose of Color. And I wanted to be very soft with this look. So I didn't want to do any lipstick that was too harsh on the color. And now I'm picking out a eyeliner, and I love this eyeliner, Araceli. I've had it for a couple of months, and it still glides on like butter. I have another eyeliner that's almost the same style. It's also a felt tip pen, and it doesn't work out as great. Like I have Illamasqua, and it's already dried down, so whenever I do my eyeliner, it drags my skin. It like pulls on my skin and ruins it entirely. So I got this Araceli one through Ipsy, and oh my gosh, I'm like totally in love with it. And it's a nice, really dark black color. And so I'm using it to do my eyeliner, trying to get them as even as I can because I'm terrible still at eyeliner. And I was pretty content with it at that point, so I moved on to the next step, which was the mascara. And again, this mascara, I got it off of Ipsy, and I also love it. It's one of my favorite ones, but unfortunately I've been using it so much and it's already drying down. But it makes my eyelashes look incredible. Now for the scary part, I am about to remove my makeup. Yep, surprise. I am removing my makeup because I had this concept that I wanted to have Alice's tears opening up the world of Wonderland. And so I'm removing the makeup just to kind of ease the process and not have like a mixture of tan with white, and just it just makes it a much cleaner process entirely. And so I'm just drawing out the outline with the Illamasqua eyeliner. Like I said, it's a little bit dried out, so I don't mind using it as much. And I just need like a really light outline to kind of know where I'm going really. And now I'm filling it in with the ColourPop white concealer. And I'm just making sure that I'm touching all those corners. And I'll be filling it in with a checkered pattern in there. And this is definitely the longest process that I had with makeup overall. I think it took me about an hour and a half just to get it as precise as I could. Unfortunately, like I mentioned earlier, my bathroom is really stuffy, so I started sweating it off and I didn't get to completely finish the makeup. I really wanted to obviously, cancel out the empty space between the two different checkered patterns, just because I didn't want to have like that empty whites or empty skin space, I guess. But I just had to get out of there as soon as possible before my makeup just melted. So now I'm just starting to line out where I'm going to be doing my checkered pattern. And I only did this on my face because it was a lot easier for me to like see where I was drawing the lines at and make sure that I'm filling in the right boxes. Even though usually I don't do this, but I made sure to have like a little bit more patience this time, and it's not as many boxes, not as confusing, and I am about to fill them in. So I found my Paradise Mehron black color. It's a black body and face paint, and then I used a really thin face brush. It's an eyeliner brush, I believe, and so I started using that to fill it in. I'm covering my face with the Smoke Show palette, but here I adjusted. And so just watch me just watch me breaking. Now I'm reaching the end, and on my neck I actually had another idea, which I thought would be cool to kind of have like that floating head illusion almost. So far liking what I see, and so now I find this optical illusion one on Google, and I try to replicate it as much as I can. It's a tougher one, so I definitely had to really pay attention to the lines. I try to find a good starting point and build off of that. And honestly, I thought it was going to be way worse. I usually, when I get into this to this point of the project, I'm either filling in the wrong square. So I decided not to draw the lines beforehand for like the squares. I just drew wherever the starting line for the swirls were, and then I just painted it as I went. And I felt like this was the best process for me, just because I kind of followed in order what the squares would be going, and I usually mess it up when I pre-draw out the squares, because then I start one end and then I start from another end, and then come to find out that two squares end up being the same color, and so it just messes the whole illusion off. And yeah, so I'm drawing every square individually without pre-drawing the lines. And as I mentioned before, unfortunately I started getting really sweaty, and so most of the paint was already kind of coming off, kind of blurring. So by the end of this, I just decided to skip the blocking out of the under of my jaw and just go on with the makeup, get ready, and take as many good pictures as I could, because obviously this took me a lot of work, so I really wanted to make sure that it looked as good as it can be for the pictures. Also, as a note, I tried to keep the lines of the inside circles, I guess the inside squares, as straight as they can go with the outside circle squares, or I don't even know how to explain it, but basically, as you can see, like when I'm coming out with the squares, I'm trying to keep it as straight from the inside, so that way it looks like it's coming from the inside out all the way evenly. Someone back in high school always told me that whenever I drew, I had an angry face, and now that I'm watching myself do this makeup, I see it. I have a really, really angry face when I'm concentrating, apparently.
I won't make it easy for you now. You got 2 minutes of my time, and I don't really break too easily, but I'm worth it, 'cause I'll slip into your dreams tonight. Oh, so give me your all. I'll take it to Mars. Oh, I'll stick like glue inside your mind. Just watch me breaking your sweat. You're falling into me, touch me, I swear. You would do anything that I want, so keep us awake till the dawn. Ooh, baby, feel free. I wanna make you sweat on me. I wanna make you sweat on me. I got you wrapped around my finger, but don't you try to call me tomorrow. There's nothing personal in having a little fun. You wait and see if it's worth your while.
At this point, I'm finishing up my neck, and I just couldn't see anymore, so I didn't keep going all the way under my jawline. And again, I just started sweating already, so I started correcting whatever little errors I saw with the white concealer, and I went back onto my face to kind of just add little details, because I love the little star looks on my face whenever I use the white concealer. So I'm adding little dots and freckles and the star, and then adding a little bit of white in my inner corners. And now I'm going back with the Illamasqua eyeliner to outline my my checkered scar, I guess. and just because I wanted to fill in more of the white space, the white blank space, I'll be using the Juvia purple color and green and pink. I don't even know what the names are on there, but I decided to use those and then add a little bit of black shadowing on the outside. And I find black shadowing being a very important feat. Full out with my wig, with my contacts, with my lashes. Sweating off. But thank you for watching and love you all. Bye.